While detective characters are usually detached from their investigations, Alan Sharp's script for Arthur Penn's film Night Moves offers an alternative. Private Detective Harry Moresby, Gene Hackman, far from being an emotionally distant analyst of people and events, is racked with insecurities. That sense of personal inadequacy is unusual in itself, but Sharp goes further to use Harry's self-doubts as a window onto, and symptomatic of, a general malaise. Therein lies a problem. Hackman gives a fine-grained, emotionally complex performance. When, for example, Harry learns his wife is having an affair, he reacts with a mixture of dazed uncertainty, physical violence, and sarcastic self-defense. Moreover, Harry is just the most prominent of Sharp's fully rounded characters. With Penn's guidance, the actors move from one emotion to another, collectively building an all-too-believable world of simmering conflict. Since Night Moves is a mystery, however, not a character study, Harry does not just go with the flow. He sets events in motion, and while he does not always recognize clues for what they are, he strives towards an explanation that will tie everything together. If the filmmakers had been content with the bittersweet discontent produced by their mixture of genre convention and individual psychology, Night Moves could be enjoyed as a low-key, somewhat opaque anomaly. Unfortunately, the behavioral observation is puffed up into an attempt at social critique. The most obvious thematic overreach is a repeated reference to the Kennedy assassinations, as if to mention them deals with them. More importantly, as one character after another is revealed to be part of a bigger scheme, it is as if we are meant almost to sympathize with their machinations, or at least understand them, as necessary to get along in the squalid environment. Like another 70s detective film that thinks it is smarter than it is, Chinatown, Night Moves seems to want us to conclude that because nearly all its characters are venal and corrupt, the world must be as well. In both films, there is little beyond a priori assumptions to warrant the sociopolitical finger-wagging, however. Do the unpleasant environment and characters in Night Moves amount to a stinging social critique? Only for the easily stung. Paradoxically, that inability to convince us to derive wider conclusions from the character's behavior results at least partly from the very success in individualizing it. Generalizing from their actions would rob the characters of their distinction. Thus, despite obvious intelligence and care, Night Moves is not very satisfying even as simple exposition. The messy, chaotic environment doesn't coalesce into a convincing experience, much less an indictment. Harry is too conflicted to be a very effective detective, and while his confusion might have been intended, it results in a muddled, wide-open ending. The story's lack of resolution and its protagonist's incompetence are audacious for a mystery, but they feel like little more than narrative murkiness passing as ambiguity, striving for profundity.